This meeting is being recorded.
Oh, I heard somebody's from their own computer. Welcome, everybody. We have one new person today. Lisa Fine is sitting in to see if this is something she might enjoy.
Hi, Lisa.
Hi, Lisa.
Hello, Lisa.
And I have no idea who this person is. Station 2. Let's see what happens when it comes as a person.
It's sometimes the iPhones and the iPads.
Yeah, it is an iPhone. They're not connected
to identify themselves.
Well, they're not connected to audio yet, so.
Or ask them to change their name.
It's Zeb. No, it's not. It's
Vivian.
It's Vivian.
Hi, Vivian.
Good morning. Good morning, Adrian. I have you on my cell phone, but it didn't come in on my computer.
Oh, that's weird. Okay, that's fine. We see you. You should be able to see everything.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so we're going to have a little bit of a business meeting first, and then we'll go into the program the way we always do. So let's start with a treasurer's report. Susan, can you tell us how much money we have?
We're rich.
I'm sure. You're on mute.
Susan?
Come back to me and
Okay.
I'll tell you.
No problem. Okay, where's Eileen?
I'm here.
There. The cafe, just tell us what you've done, like the View article and stuff like that.
I've been promoting abstracts because that's the plan for our next cafe exhibit. And we don't know when that's going to be and if it's going to be, but we did hear something about being approved to have a wall or something like that.
Yeah.
They said that at the meeting.
I think we can just go ahead with whenever the normal time was, or just post it, because I got the feeling that the cafe is going to be open at least through September. Because you've got a lot of work that has to be done first with this, that, and the other thing. So I think you can just kind of move ahead with it, and the next time we might be hung up, perhaps.
I called you.
That's what I also thought from last night, because originally the first dates that I had heard was if it's approved, they were looking for June, but now they're saying they're looking for September.
Right.
So that's a whole different thing.
Yeah.
So let me just double check with the board as far as dates, if that's really what they were saying, which I think it was. And then I'll get back to you guys. And
Adrian, they also mentioned it might be October.
Right.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
And I'm only going to throw one thing in there about the cafe. If the renovation vote passes, and we're going to have to think about purchasing new frames. We're going to have to think about matching up somehow or the framework so that it matches the decor in the cafe or whatever.
Well, we didn't purchase those frames that we are using now. Those frames were provided by the decorator when they did the cafe.
So we may have to do something different there about changing out those frames. Some of them are older, some of the glass is a little chipped, but just saying.
I will double check on that too, because the communication that I had with them originally expressing that we felt this was an important part of the community. And I actually said to them at that time, when we didn't know what it was going to look like, that don't buy frames until you talk to us about the size, because they could make some weird frame size that we can't get prints for. And they said, yeah, that's how they were going to do it. And I did do that in writing. So maybe I need to do that in writing again to remind them that, they're responsible for doing frames that complement the decor, but that they should be consulting us to make sure they're also frames that are suitable for photographs. And that, so I will make myself a note.
Will you also be going after 10 frames like we have now?
We won't know that because they're saying there's one wall. So I have no idea how big that wall is, or
we're going to have to look at the space and see how it plays out. Yeah.
I was yesterday. I was in Ponte Vecchia, and they have a wall in one of their corridors of the photography club. They must have had 20 pictures there, but they all were maybe 11 in a row. They had like 2 rows, and just on this one wall, and you walk from one picture to the other, and it was lovely. It was very pretty. So they were much smaller than what we have in the cafe. But then again, they don't have a cafe. But I don't think you should do anything till it's complete.
Oh, yeah.
And then we could see what the genre is, what you want to do. So I wouldn't plan anything until that cafe is complete and we actually see the wall that they have promised to us.
Right.
Because I had mentioned it also to Dave. I said, I hope you're saving space for the photography club.
Right. And to which he said yes.
And which he said yes.
Right.
Yes.
And I know Pam Eisenberg, who's the head of that not committee, that group.
Advisory
That's
group.
where that
Right,
advisory
yeah.
group. So I will talk to her as well, which I have done already, but I will again speak to her. Okay. All right. So then Eileen, I'll get back to you hopefully today, and we can start moving on the abstracts.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So last night I sent out the agenda to everybody. Again, I mostly send that out so that you can have the dates that are upcoming. I will be working this afternoon to finish the flyer for Todd's program in March. So that I'll get that out to you. So watch for that in your emails. And there'll be, so there in March, we have Todd, February, we have this and the trip for this, which is on the 26th. In March, we have a workshop on the 3rd, and we have the review for this activity on March 7th, and the review session with Todd will be March 16th. The show is the 17th to the 19th. All these dates are on here, and the April meeting is the 18th. And then I have to get a review date for the April meeting. I'm not sure if we'll have a May meeting yet. There are a few of us who said we would get together and do something, but we haven't talked yet. So we'll see what we do in May. Maybe we'll just do a trip and a free shoot, like we did at the beginning of the season. So I'll get back to you on that. Okay, under new business, I have
Excuse me a moment. Adrian, me.
yes, Evie.
The February 26th trip to Brickell, which is the subject of our presentation today, February 26th is a Sunday.
I know.
So, well, you may know.
Oh, no,
but-
we've been talking about that the whole
Yeah,
time.
okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, everybody should remember that. I mean, we talked about that from the very, very beginning when we put it on the calendar, that it's a Sunday. And we did that on purpose. The last time we went to that area, we also did it on a Sunday. So it was a little less busy, a little less hectic, because there's a lot of office buildings and public venues. Okay. So in the new business thing is just a reminder that there is a Florida Camera Club Council, which we're all members of. Their annual conference is in Fort Myers. I had hoped that a couple of us would go over, but I haven't had anybody express any interest. So I guess that's not going to happen this year. The photo show, I want to talk about that for a minute. And then I also just want to remind you about club elections. And anything we talk about here, because this is only a small part of the whole group, I will be sending out emails to everybody. So the board of directors of the club met and revised the submission information for the show. And I sent all this out to you. This should not be new news. That in addition, instead of having 2 separate categories, one for regular general photographs and one for creative photographs, we decided to combine it so that everybody can just submit 6 pictures of whatever they want, as long as it's in their category, their level, like beginner, novice, intermediate, that kind of thing. And as long as it's all their work. Now, in reality, we have no way to know if it's your work. We're just going on an honor system. But it should, if you combine 2 or 3 pictures to make an image, you should be using your work. So anyhow, I redid the submission information. I posted it on the website. I sent it to everybody. So everybody should have all that new information, and everybody should realize that that's the way we're going to be doing it moving forward. It was a very long discussion. And the general consensus is that the photography is not just taking a picture with your camera, it also includes the editing component. And so we should be recognizing that and judging the end result, which is an image that is or is not straight out of the camera, but it's still an image. So that's why we changed everything. And I just would want to know if anybody had any questions about that.
I have something, a little something to say about this.
Good.
When you do your pictures, please print it on either matte or satin, not a gloss finish. A gloss finish looks terrible in that room.
Yeah. And it says that again in the submission information, but thank you for reinforcing that. It's because of the lighting in the art studio that's just terrible. So you don't want a shiny picture up there. Okay, so just to review that, you're ordering from Shutterfly because Costco's they closed their photo center. They don't do pictures anymore. However, when you order from Shutterfly, you should register yourself as a Costco member on the account page so that you get the discounts. And remember that it might take a little longer from Shutterfly. So like I'm going to try to do mine today or tomorrow because I don't have any feeling for how long it took. Does anybody get theirs already? Barbara, you did, right?
I did.
You're on mute.
Oh,
Yes, so I ordered them yesterday and they're gonna come before the 17th. So everybody needs to order quickly.
All right, they promised me, I ordered on Sunday, they promised me the 17th, but I'm already getting emails that they've been shipped and they're supposed to come tomorrow. So.
Oh.
who
I've
knows?
had the same. I ordered it.
The 11 by 14s don't usually come right away. If you ordered 4 by 6s, they ship them first. And
No,
then
but the email said they were shipped and the UPS is notifying me.
Okay. Okay.
For those who
Okay.
haven't sent them off to Shutterfly yet, we had them, we did not pay for shipping. We did that as part of Costco, and it wasn't something automatic, but they took a look at it and they said yes. So we didn't have to pay for shipping.
Well, we had an email when we signed up. Click here if you want free shipping. So look for that. But we have to call them each time. I called them to tell them I'm a Costco member, and then she put it into my account. And then I said, what about free shipping? Well, I had to call them again to put the free shipping into your account. So if you're a Costco member and want free shipping, you can get those, but you have to call them each time to customer service, and they'll put it into your account.
Everybody
That's
heard that?
interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's all going to be like baby steps, but the good news is anybody that's called them, they've been really, really helpful. So don't hesitate to call them and ask for help in doing it. I mean, I tried with Zev and Virginia to place an order, and I just found it so confusing. But other people have not found it so confusing. So whatever. I guess it depends on how experienced you are with that kind of stuff. Anyhow, so the submission dates are February 25th to March 1st. For those of you who might not have done this before or who forgot because it's been a really long time, you take the pictures to Marty's house. All this information is in the materials for submission, and he has a big tub in front of his house where you put your pictures. And he'll be monitoring the tub and getting the stuff into the house. So that the pictures are mounted, they have labels properly done. You can contact Pay It Forward, which is a PAP charity, if you need help with anything, with making the pictures or with labeling or mounting or anything. But it's really pretty simple. Just look at there's pictures that show you how to do it. And if you need to see a sample, you could come to my house and I'll show you a sample because I keep all those pictures in a certain spot. And you can see how it looks to have them labeled, but it's not very hard to do.
Quick question.
Sure, Paul.
the method of mounting the picture on the board. What do you suggest? I mean, I don't remember what I did 3 years ago.
Yeah, I use double stick tape,
Okay.
scrapbook
Me
tape.
too.
It works fine.
I
I
use-
know
I use
Kit
rubber
used to
cement.
use a spray, and I know my
Yes,
dad
okay.
used to use a spray, but it's way harder to manage the spray. The tape was way easier. And it's just Scotch tape, and it says double stick on it. And it also will say on there, it's good for photographs. So it doesn't have any chemicals in it or anything.
If you do that, be sure to put the tape along the edges, or else the
Yes.
edges will come up.
Okay.
The edges and the corners, all the
And
corners.
for making the labels, the first time is the hardest. Once you have the right
Yeah.
font, then you save it to your documents, and next year you just change the name of the picture, and all the fonts and everything are there.
Yeah, and the way I do is I just do a Word document and I type them all on the Word document. I make spaces between them. I make them the right font and bold and whatever it says on that paper. And then I cut them up and paste them on file cards. And that works. And you
So
can use
much
paper
easier to
paste.
use my template.
Yeah, Ira's got a template. And I think some of mine, because mine is also, I do what Doris did. It's there from a long time ago. And I think that mine was originally maybe the template, but it's very easy.
Paul, did you get the template? Did you understand it?
Yes.
Okay.
Um,
And I think I sent you what I think was from the last time.
Right, yeah, but I
Okay.
went back and just
All
made
right.
sure.
Ira, can I ask you to send me the template, please?
Sure.
Might be easier than what I do, which
And
is.
so-
Adrian.
Me too.
Adrian, I sent it to you.
yeah, I
you take
have it.
that to
I
the
can
group?
send it to the whole club. I just didn't do that yet.
Good.
Adrian,
Yeah,
if you're doing a square photo, do you want it mounted vertically or horizontally?
horizontally.
Okay.
Adrian,
have you spoken to Henry?
Have I spoken to Henry about?
The racks.
What
Oh, yes,
happens
he
with-
and I are working on that. We're dealing with
What
the racks.
happens with the 12x12s that we ordered from Shutterfly, and we have to put it on a 11x14 mat? So how do we do that?
You just,
12x12 mat.
no, we don't do
Mm.
12 by 12 mats. All the mats are 11 by 14. They always have been. We just take the 12 by 12 picture and mount it centered on the mat. The mat sticks out a little bit as a border on the edges, because if you think about the math, 12 versus 14, it's 2 inches. It's an inch on each side. So an inch sticks out on each side, and the picture hangs over like a half an inch at the top and a half an inch. It's an infinitesimal amount, because the picture isn't really 12 by 12. It's 11 point something or other. And that looks out. And then the show all looks uniform. Everything's on 11 by 14.
But
Because once you start cutting, because what people did years ago is they were cutting the mats and they had jagged edge, and it just looked awful. So it's just easier this way.
if you center the photo on the mat and you have a half inch above and below, it's going to sit on the edge of the picture as opposed to being supported by the cardboard.
Well,
And therefore it might curl.
it never really is a half an inch. It's like a quarter of an inch. It's like almost nothing. But if you want to push it up to the top so that it hangs mostly over the top, that's fine too.
Okay.
Just believe me, it has never mattered. It never has. Because originally we were like, oh my God. And people started cutting them and gluing, and it was awful. Or paying a lot of money for 12 by 12s. So this just works okay. Miriam.
Yes, since I have my own printer that will normally print at 11 by 14, I could still use that rather than using Shutterfly.
Of course.
Of course.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're lucky. You don't have to go through
You're
the.
lucky. Do you know what that printer costs?
Oh, I know.
Yeah, but how much on the inks, Miriam?
Oh, and I apologize. My computer is in the shop. The fans went, so I'm on a laptop.
Okay.
So
You
it's
look
kind of hard
fine.
for me to see anybody because it's small. It's not
Right.
really good.
Okay.
You know,
Well,
it took me a while to get it up and running to get in.
okay. Okay. So the show on the 16th which is a Thursday in the afternoon after we have Todd's review. So like at 4:30, a group of us will go over and mount the show. And I'll be asking for volunteers as we get, like March 1st, I'll ask people to commit. So we mount the show at 4:30 in the afternoon. We used to do that the morning of the judging, which is
Yeah.
a disaster. We don't do that. We didn't do that the last time.
Good.
The judges are coming in the morning of the 17th. And then we'll need a few volunteers after they leave to put the ribbons on the pictures and get everything finalized. And then the show will be open to the public Saturday and Sunday from 10 to 4. And during that time, people will get a chance to vote for People's Choice. We are so out of practice on this that we're just going to have to remind each other what to do. Yes,
Adrian,
Ann.
may I ask who the judges are? Irene is coming back.
Yes,
Who
Ira.
are the judges?
Yes, the
Judges.
judges are Irene Hill and our own Carl Geisler and Lynn Mass. Lynn Mass is on the chat group that a number of us go to, and she's absolutely wonderful. We're really excited about the judges this year.
Yeah, I think it'll be fun. Okay. Okay. Anything else about the show? Any questions? I mean, I'm hoping people are going to be submitting, there's no way to know. We have no good feel for it. This morning, I sent out the list from the last couple of years showing people what level they were at, because people had moved. Even in the interim, when we did it virtually, I still was adding points, and we moved forward with that. So you would have moved over to a new category. Yeah.
So the one on the right where it says what you're going into is what you follow.
Correct. Right.
Okay.
Each column has a year, because
Yeah, but
after a couple of years, it drops off.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Elections. Just to remind everybody that this club does have elections. We've never actually had an election because nobody ever volunteered to run, but we still go through the exercise every year. I would love to get some new people involved. So talk it up if you have time. There are 9 members on our board. A person resigned, so now we only have 8. So there's an open slot, but we'll fill it with a volunteer who volunteers to be elected. Half the board is up each year. So I'll be sending out an announcement just to see if people are interested in volunteering. But I wanted to just remind people that that was true. Okay. Okay, any other questions on anything for anything for the good of the group before we start the educational
I have
part?
the treasurer's report.
Oh, great. Thank you. Go.
Currently in our treasury is $2,051.16. I have $40 to deposit for dues, and I have to pay Ira $91.05. So the net of that is $2,011.
Okay, and I also have to.
For 1070.
What's that?
I have a bill for 1070 for the People's Choice ribbons.
Okay.
And I have a bill for $70. I paid the Florida Camera Club Council dues, the
All right.
annual dues.
Mhm.
And then I'll be going with Henry to buy the fabric to finish and the strips to finish fixing up the racks.
Got it.
And then after that, we can see what we have. Okay, thank you. Okay. I'm going to turn this over to the team for the core team for this month, which is Ira, Evie, and Harvey. Go.
Thank you. I'm really excited. We're all really excited about this presentation. We're going to go to Brickell and Brickell City Center. We have some remarks from Harvey, then Evie, and then I will show you a slideshow of the photos that we took. So Harvey, would you like to make some comments?
You're on mute, Harvey.
Thank you, Adrian. That helped. Thanks a lot. I have some notes here, so I might refer to them periodically. Today will be a different kind of session. It will not be a teaching session as we normally have, because we thought we were going to Brickell City Center today after the meeting. but because of traffic conditions, as Adrian alluded to, we chose a Sunday, and it will be much easier for everyone to get there. The shoot will actually be a compilation of what we've learned and discussed over the years. 5 of us in this club belong to a weekend meetup, the Art of Photography Fort Lauderdale. And what I love about that is that we are able to submit anything we want, any shoot, any topic that we want. That's what's going to happen this coming Sunday. Ira basically chose Brickell City Center, and he did a great job. It's different from other malls. It's outside, it's inside. The opportunities for people watching, street photography, buildings, shops, stores, articles of clothing. Evie will go into that, but the opportunities exist, and I think you will all find it a fascinating place to be. Ira took the burden off of me this year and really took charge. He did a great job. The slideshow is his work, and you will see how much work he put into it, and I thank him. Evie and I discussed the possibilities of what kind of pictures you can take, what is best for the club, and she will go into that list of possibilities and areas we should really concentrate on at Brickell City Center. I have a suggestion. Try to make your pictures not just snapshots. Let's consider this the art of photography. Photography is an art, okay? But taking a snapshot is easy. Make them interesting, make them artsy, I think is the word I'm looking for. And you will be much more gratified and satisfied with the outcome. So this affords us that opportunity. So let's take advantage, and I think you will all have a really interesting and good experience. I have something to say after we're finished about a fun addition to this outing, but Evie has a lot of things to say. So Evie, go ahead.
Okay, I too want to thank Ira for putting everything together. He's done a wonderful job, and you're going to see the results. What should you look for at Brickell? If you haven't been there, you're in for a treat. It's an architectural wonderland, really. Well, let me just say, each of us can look at something, the same thing, and each of us will see it differently. One part will appeal to somebody, another part will appeal to someone else, and each of us will decide what to focus on that object. The architecture we're going to see is both actual and abstract. It's such a cornucopia of shapes and sizes and representations. It's a shopping mall, basically, but done in such an artistic way that it is definitely worth seeing. So you can choose to take macro photographs, close-ups, or move back and take long distance photographs. You can choose to take the outside, the buildings outside. A lot of the mall is open to the area around, and there are some very interesting buildings and colorful buildings around this mall. the indoor architecture, of course. The ceilings are amazing. The play of shape and light that has been used and planned for and used is remarkable. The stores, all kinds of stores, many very high-end stores with creative displays and creative pieces. You can take pictures of some of these stores through the window of the store. And that brings all different elements into the screen. You can think about street photography. Even though we're inside, it's also outside. And there are lots of people walking, sitting, eating, drinking. There are seating groups that present some interesting photography opportunities. You can just watch the people. The light coming in, and we're going in the morning, the light coming in changes what we see. It changes the ceilings, which, as I said, are remarkable. You will also be very aware of the shapes, the geometrics of this space. So everything is in the eye of the beholder. And I have to say for myself, now I only use my iPhone, and it's so freeing. And I greatly appreciate that. I have two wonderful cameras. They're sitting in the closet. So I'm looking forward to going with all of you. Ira, Harvey and I went with our spouses, and we all enjoyed it. Well, especially Ira, Harvey and I. So you're in for a treat. Okay, Ira, take it away.
Let me see if I can, yes, here we go. Okay, am I up and running?
Yes, you are.
Yes.
Okay, great. I'm really excited about going to Brickell. Judy and I were there a year ago after we took our granddaughter to visit University of Miami, and I fell in love. I fell in love with the people. I fell in love with the architecture. I fell in love with the buildings, with the mall. Everything about it was fantastic. I was so excited. I said, we've got to do that as a photo shoot. And when Evie and Harvey and us and myself, we went down there, it just confirmed everything that I had seen. What we're going to show you is a compilation of all three of our photographs. They were all taken with cell phones. And I recommend, though of course I can't order it, that photos be taken with cell phones on this particular trip. There's nothing really distant that you have to get a shot of. The cell phone should work, and I think it's a great opportunity for us to explore using cell phones. So first, I want to talk about the city of Brickell, which is like nothing I've ever seen. This is the financial district of Miami, and they've done an incredible job. So this is, and by the way, if anybody has any questions, or if Harvey and Evie want to add something, please just step right in. This is an example of Brickell itself, the first number of photographs, the buildings, the different buildings, the styles is just, it's a photographer's dream. The reflections. the colors. Now, this picture was taken at night. I actually took the photo. I hate the photo, but it gives you an idea of what it looks like, the colors of Brickell at night. It is so, I can't emphasize enough how colorful this whole area is. Now, this is a view from inside Brickell looking down at, that's actually the Miami River underneath us. And the whole Miami River district is being built up. They're doing a great job in Miami of building up the city. So there you see a boat going under the bridge. That bridge, and I'll show you other pictures of it, is the people mover. It's the moto mover, I believe it's called. It's a people mover that goes around, I believe it's about 4 miles around the area. It's completely free. And I highly recommend that we do it. I will set up a time to do it as a group because there's a station right downstairs, Brickell, and it'll take you on, I have no idea how long it takes, but it'll take you on a little loop of the area and you'll be able to photograph from there, from above. I haven't done it, but I think it'll be spectacular. And here also you can see the different colors of the buildings in the area. This is the people mover that I was talking about. And that's another view. Now, this is the city center. It's just the mall, but it's so much more than just the mall. First of all, we will be the only people over 30, definitely the only people that are Jewish, and also probably the only people that speak English. There's a lot of wealth in this mall, and there are a lot of wealthy people there, but it's not something that you're going to hear a lot of English. So this is the city center. And that gives you an idea of an overview of what it looks like. You have up here, we'll explore this area in a little while. This picture was taken through the mall. And as I said, these pictures are a compilation of Evie, Harvey, and my own photographs, again, all taken with cell phones. You can use the indoor and the outdoor, the combination, the difference. It's a photographer's dream. These are just some that we took, but the opportunities are endless.
The ceilings are spectacular.
Now, it's also interesting in that it's a indoor mall, but it's outdoors, which was a little disappointing when we were there last time because it was very cold. Our spouses went one place and sat down inside one of the stores because it was really chilly. But it adds to the excitement of the whole mall. It's completely covered, but the sides are open.
Yeah.
Okay, Harvey, you're on.
There is something special there. It's a selfie museum. I believe it's the only one in the country. Ira will show you a picture or two. They have setups, little, I'll say, cubbies or rooms. One can have a bathtub filled with balloons, and you can stand in the bathtub with other people and take pictures. There are rim lights, as you can see, in front of every display. And the rooms are fun, they're interesting. It's a different setup. We've never done this before. There is an admission fee. I'm trying to work that out. If you want to partake, wonderful. It will be fun. I guarantee it. It's unique in every way. And the three of us really liked it and thought you would like it also. So that's an added possibility. Ira is giving you a display. They do not want you to take pictures indoors. That's their business. So this is a taste of the selfie museum. It's fun.
Harvey,
Yes.
may I just add, there is a camera set up in every vignette. You can all see that circle. It's on a tripod. Well, we can see a few of them. That's for your iPhone, or I guess any camera. But this is specifically made for people to take selfies with groups, individually. Some of the setups are really laugh out loud funny. And I think you'd all enjoy romping around in this area.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we were all excited about it. The list price of this is $30 for an hour. I know that we can get it for 25, and as a group, we might be able to get it for less. So for this, we really need to know how many people would be interested in doing it so we can make arrangements with the people over here. It'll be fun. It'll be a fun hour. Okay, the stores are varied. I don't think that anybody would give you a problem if you walk into the store and take photographs with a cell phone. As everybody said, this is a great place for people watching street photography. Use of some ICM. As you can see, it's not a low-end shopping mall. We looked at one pair of sneakers that were what, $700 or something like for
Now,
sneakers.
the sneakers were $1,800.
Oh, 1,800. Pardon me.
Two sneakers for two.
Oh, you actually got two sneakers there.
Yeah, right and a left. Yes.
This area is the restaurant area. There are, over here is the movie theater. Behind the movie theater is the 4th floor of Saks Fifth Avenue. And then you have 3 or 4 other restaurants in this area. What my intent is to meet, and we'll come up with the time. I'm thinking that I would leave somewhere between 10:30 and 11, get there about noon, give us an hour to shoot wherever we want to shoot, and then meet in the restaurant area at about 1 o'clock. And there are 4 different restaurants that I think are all good. So we're not going to make reservations. We'll be on our own. I'm sure we'll form groups of whatever and decide where we want to go at that time. All the restaurants are very good.
Can we take the train down there? Or do
I'll
we have to
discuss,
walk?
I'll discuss that at the end of the slideshow.
Okay.
Okay, so that was Brickell, and then a couple of weeks ago, I went with a few people to the Miami Design Center. And as much as I loved Brickell, I think the Miami Design Center is as exciting and maybe more exciting than Brickell. And this is what I'm proposing for next year's trip, if this is successful, and I hope it is. What's interesting is Miami Design Center has all new stores, and it's a design center, so you have all the top stores. You have all the top stores that you have there, and each one is trying to outdo the other. And one of the things that I noticed that I enjoyed was the staircases in these stores. So here are a few of the staircases inside the stores. Now this over here, you walk up this staircase and it's just a spectacular staircase. And up at the top, you think that you're walking outdoors because you see the sky and all of that. It turns out this is just a screen. And then there's actually another level up here. This is a mirror reflecting. Okay. So that's the presentation. And how do I stop sharing? Okay, it stopped. Okay. Everybody still with me, or did you fall asleep? Okay. As far as taking the Bright Line goes 1.2 miles from Brickell. And you can take either, there's a metro that you can take to get there, or you can walk to 1.2 miles, or you can take an Uber. The problem that I found with Bright Line, in my thinking, is my research showed, and anybody is welcome to check into this, but I saw that it would cost $12.50 per person to get to Brickell and $29.50 to come back. So to me,
Wow.
$50 or so is a lot of money per person to spend for transportation, but you're welcome to do it. You can get there however you want.
Did you look into Tri-Rail?
I did not look into Tri-Rail. I mean, I looked into Bright Line. I didn't look into Tri-Rail. Tri-Rail might be an option, but I think it'll be very slow. The Bright Line takes an hour. So I don't know how, but you're welcome to look into that, Harry, and let us know. The parking, I went a year ago, as I said, and we got street parking. There was no problem. When Harvey, Evie, and myself went last time, it was a mob scene. It was absolutely crazy. And we all ended up parking in the parking garage, or opposite, there's a parking lot, and it was $20. So to me, $20 for 4 people is a lot less expensive than spending $50 on transportation.
Yeah.
Now, the other thing is, some people, if you want to spend the whole day there, there's a lot to see and do, and we can recommend a phenomenal restaurant that's about a mile away from the mall, a place called Crust. Harvey's smiling, he's still thinking about the food. Supposedly it's a Michelin rated restaurant, and it's rated the best chicken parmesan in the country. But if you do go there, I do warn you, you order for one person, and there's a sharing charge of $3. You order for one person, and then you take home the rest, and you have another meal for the 2 of you.
At least one more meal.
Right. Yeah, we had one more meal and we had stuff left over. Yeah, it's the food was delicious. It's crowded, so if you think you want to go, you have to make a reservation in advance. There is outside seating, but when we were there, it was too cold for outdoor seating. but I very highly recommend Crust if you want to spend the day there. The thing about Brickell is it's a young, dynamic, happening place, and it's fun. It's just a fun adventure. Any questions?
I have a question. Do you think an hour is gonna be enough time to shoot? It seems like there's so much going on that doesn't seem like enough time.
Absolutely not. An hour will absolutely not be enough time to shoot.
Because I think you said an hour.
I think
Yes,
what
what I said is I'd like to pick a time to meet for lunch. So my thinking was to meet at 1 o'clock for lunch. That means you can get there at 9 o'clock in the morning and spend 4 hours, or you can get there at 11 and spend whatever you want. But after we're finished with lunch, we still have 2 things to do, at least that I would like to do. And one of them is to take the people mover, and the other one is to do the selfie museum. So no, I'm thinking about spending the better part of the day there. I'm thinking not to leave until like 5 o'clock or something like that.
an hour is definitely not enough.
No.
An hour is not, no, it is not enough time at all. It's just, and I didn't even want to say an hour. It's whenever you get there, just that I want to meet at a time, and I'm picking 1 o'clock arbitrarily to go. But it's important that we know how many people want to do the selfie museum, and the 3 of us highly recommend it. And if we get enough people, maybe we can rent the room for an hour. I don't know. It's just thinking on our part, but I very highly recommend that. It'll be a fun shoot. It's going to be a fun day.
Miriam, you're on mute.
Miriam, you're still on mute.
Okay, I got it. I have a question. Are you allowed to bring a camera, or does this also have to be all cell phone, and I would need a ride to go there?
Yeah, you're not the only
Okay.
one.
Okay.
Again, what time is it again that we're leaving?
What
We didn't
time?
just, yeah, he's just recommending.
Okay, but I definitely, can you bring a camera?
Okay. You certainly can bring. Well, wait a second. I say this.
And a
Certain.
monopod? I have a
No
monopod.
monopod. And other people told us that they were stopped. If they had a regular camera, they were stopped. The security would stop and tell them not to take photos, but then they would go ahead and do it. So the answer is you cannot take a camera inside stores, but you should be able to take a camera and use the camera in the mall. And certainly outside of the mall, you can use a camera.
Okay.
I'm recommending cell phones because it's an opportunity to you learn your cell phone, and it'll just be something different.
Okay.
What was the name of the restaurant that you recommended?
Crust.
C-R-U-S-T.
C-R-U-S-T.
C-R-U-S-T, okay.
Yeah, we had pizza as an appetizer, which was delicious. And we took their recommendation and had the chicken parmesan. All 3 couples did.
And do we need a reservation for that?
I would recommend it. Yes, it's a pretty small restaurant.
But that's not for the lunch. That's
No,
it's
but
staying
it's not the
right
lunch.
there,
That's an evening if you want to stay there till evening time.
because it's not near
Okay.
the mall.
Now, I was thinking, looking at the map, it's not too far from the beach, right? About 13 minutes. Has anybody done that? Walk to the beach from there?
I don't know if you can actually walk to the beach from there. I don't know. I'm
I
not.
just looked at the map and I saw a bridge there. There's looks like a canal, and then it's a little island or something.
You can't walk to the beach from there.
No.
I think that the Brickell area is so rich in itself. There is so much to photograph there, inside the mall and all around it, that I don't know, unless you have boundless energy, I don't know that you'll feel like you can really go to and absorb another area on the same day.
The main drag, we did this trip years ago before the mall existed. We just did the main drag. And we walked there and did the mirrored buildings, which are spectacular. And then you can walk over to the water. I don't know what water that is, but you see Miami from there. There's a walking path all along the water, which made for great photography. There's some parks. If it's a nice day, it's just gorgeous in that area. And then what we did from there was we got back in our cars and we drove to Bayside, where the Bayside Mall is, and the Hotel Intercontinental, and we took some more pictures over there. You can see the cruise ships and stuff like that. That's a different trip. This is where the mall is. I think you can walk to where the mirrored buildings are with no problem, because you took some pictures of those. But I don't think you want to go over by the Hotel Intercontinental and all that. But that's the cool part of doing that people mover thing, which I've never done, is to get a whole overview of the whole entire area, which is very cool.
And it's free.
Yeah, the people mover stops at the mall.
Yes.
Oh, cool. Very cool.
Good morning. I'd like to say a few words. This is
Eva.
Eva.
Eva, we're doing this trip for you.
You need
know,
a
yes.
reservation for the selfie place?
If we can get enough people, we will call and try and make a reservation. If it's one or two, we're on our own. But I'm hoping that we can get everybody that might be interested in doing
I'll
it.
send out some information about that.
What date is this signed for? I'm sorry, I don't have the date.
Sunday, February 26th.
Well,
the reason
I want to say a few words, if I may. I want to thank the group. I want to tell you that I haven't been on an excursion since we went to the beach. That must have been last year. But I am so excited, having heard this presentation, that I want to join in, and I plan to spend the day with you guys. So thank you for arranging it. Thank you for this wonderful program to elicit some interest and excitement, because I just told Adrian last night I wasn't able or capable to think about going on a long-term trip, but I am so excited about Brickell. I've never been there. It's geared for iPhone photography, and I hope to be there with you. So thank you for today's program. But last but not least, the train is a wonderful way to go. And having been ill and still ill with my illness, I take every day as a beautiful day to come forward and not miss an opportunity that's out there, because we don't know how much life we have in front of us. If you do 1 or 2 trips a year to an outing that you've never been to, that you're going to remember perhaps for the rest of your life, what's $28, $30 a trip? The train is a wonderful activity. Last weekend, we went to Tampa on a train and back. The Uber to the train station in Delray is about $25. That's for 2 people, my husband and I. So I urge you all who are interested in spending a lovely day to take this opportunity and let's go.
Thanks, Eva.
That sounds wonderful.
Anybody else have a question? Comment?
I've been to Miami on the Tri-Rail. It's not easy. You have to change to the Metro Rail. It's impossible to buy the tickets in the machine. There's nobody to help you. It passes through really bad neighborhoods till it comes to downtown. So I would not recommend the Tri-Rail.
Okay.
We drove down when the 3 of us and our spouses went, and it was not a bad trip at all. Ira, I think you had some traffic. I don't.
It was just minuscule compared to what it would be during the week.
It's between 45 minutes and an hour, and on a Sunday morning, I think our chances of having uneventful trips are good.
Yeah, when I go to the Miami Book Fair, I go on a Saturday, and I've never hit traffic in the morning. There's nothing, straight shot.
My original thinking was to do this at 5, 6 o'clock in the evening, and you get different shadows, and maybe to do the Bayside Market before then. But I think that there is so much to do and see here that this is a full day, and we didn't want to tie it together with anything else. Just to enjoy this area.
Okay. Thank you very much to the core team. And watch for emails from me. I'll send some emails about getting the numbers together for the 26th. I have some numbers, but I want to get more. And other things that I promised I would send, I will send today. Okay. Thank you, everybody. Bye.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ira.
You're
Thank you.
welcome.
Thank you, Ira, Evie. Thank you.
And it's
Thank you,
recorded.
Harvey, Ira.
Thank
Nice
you.
picks, Ira. Good job.
Thank you.